This is the panel that we're gonna strengthen up a little bit and reassemble onto my car. For some reason, the shop that was working on my car decided to pull this off because they screwed up and messed up that corner. When they were backing out, they didn't have somebody watching and checking underneath, and then they tried to hide it by removing the whole panel. But I was able to go back to them, talk to the owner, got everything back, and hopefully this never happens again. But if somebody does this to you, at least you'll be able to fix it without using zip ties and stuff. Yeah, it's about $50 to get the new plastic pieces to reassemble it right. Plus what am I have to do to kind of reinforce where they tore the back end. So here you can see the underside, basically where they folded it and everything. And this is where they went over their speed bump, but the wrong way. Here's what we're going to use to go ahead and remount the cover underneath the driver's side. I'll put the parts in the description below. For this job, we're going to need a 14mm for those two center plastic bolts, and then a 10mm for everything else, and a screwdriver to kind of hold the old plastic bolts on the inside to spin them off with the 14. Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is checking underneath and making sure that these actually fit. And yeah, they do. Because the shop took off more parts than they needed to. I have a temporary thing here. And then this, I gotta see if that's gonna come off. It looks loose, so it probably needs to come off. So I gotta see what they took off. And I don't know if you can see way back there. Let me see if I can zoom in. So you can see there's another bolt right there. Probably got to take off. But yeah, before I do anything else, I'm just seeing if I have all the parts, I mean, basically all the bolts needed to put this back on. Then we'll reinforce the cover. And I did notice on the opposite side, they did also tear into that one a little bit, so I can see it lifted. But it's not too bad right now. Do that another day. So I just wanted to show you real quick why these covers are important. These look like fuel lines and brake lines, and I doubt you want to have those exposed because I don't know what these are made out of, but they don't sound like solid steel. Maybe these are, but these fuel lines don't feel like it. That's what they are. Okay, after reviewing everything underneath, it looks like I have everything I need. Now I just got to repair the tears in this one. So for instance, this one, I think we can kind of fix by using a washer to cut, and then the force to hold it together to keep everything strong and torque it down. So I don't think we have to use the aluminum there, or the sheet metal. We could still strengthen this up a little bit. Same thing here. You can use a washer to kind of help reinforce this whole area. Because again, you don't spend too much time on this. This one is where it has more area missing, where I probably need to put a little piece of metal there and then just L it over. Rivet on the sides and let it come out this way just so it can hold a little bit better. I think with these, it'll do what I need it to do. These are 1 1/4 flat washers. Okay, this is the bolt that goes there on the front. There's the other bolt. These are the centers. You only need 2 instead of 8 that it calls for. And then for this back row, You're gonna use all of those, but I'm also gonna throw in 3 washers to reinforce it. And then you can see right back there on the inside, there's one more nut. Just want to show you where that nut goes. It goes right here, holding on that heat shroud, and you'll see the same one over there. Yeah. So just in case you don't want to jack it up to find where everything is, just wanted to show that up. To help you get everything aligned, start with the 2 center pieces that just have the kinetic lock. I'm sure it's got a different, it's just a push on. And once you get the 2 push-ons, that'll hold it up as you put in the bolts where they need to go. Once it's up, I'd go ahead and start with these front ones, just because they're harder to get to than the 3 in the back. Okay, here's the finished result. You can see the washers holding everything tight. I didn't have to do the sheet metal after all. And then the one you can't see is way back here. That one's bolted up. These you just kind of push in deeper until they go all the way in. Now that we got everything else tightened up, so now the center's tight, the front's tight. This one, I just got to keep an eye on because that one does rub a little bit. I guess if I'm not careful on speed bumps, but I just try to keep things slow. But when shop workers are driving your car, they may or may not know how to drive lowriders. But here you go, it's all done and back together. And I don't know why, other than laziness, they didn't want to just put this back together. But it's done. Hope this was helpful to somebody.